Raza had always believed that working as a xenobiologist on the remote research station Harmony's Edge would be peaceful. He was wrong. The first sign of trouble came when the station's AI, voiced by his colleague Fiza from the communications, bay crackled through the intercom with barely contained panic. "Raza, we have a problem. A big one." Fiza's voice echoed through the sterile corridors. "The Imperial Transport Apex Predator just dropped out of hyperspace. They're requesting immediate docking." Raza frowned, setting down his datapad. The Galactic Empire rarely visited their little research outpost and never unannounced. "What's their cargo manifest?" That's the problem." Fiza's voice wavered. "According to their transponder, they're carrying 500 juvenile specimens from the Empire's most dangerous worlds. All of them are orphaned cubs from species classified as extreme threat level." The docking bay filled with an ominous hum as the massive Imperial vessel connected to their station. Raza stood beside Fiza at the observation deck, watching as the cargo bay doors hissed open. What emerged defied every protocol he'd ever learned. 500 pairs of eyes stared back at them, glowing, predatory, ancient, beyond their years. There were Vorthak cubs, their obsidian shells already showing the razor-sharp ridges that would make them unstoppable killing machines. Plasma-breathing Zephyrian younglings no bigger than house cats but capable of melting through starship hulls. Shadow phase umbrals that flickered in and out of visible spectrum, their presence marked only by the temperature drop they caused. The Imperial captain, a stern Corellian with battle scars across his chitinous face, approached with obvious relief. "Dr. Raza, I assume? Thank the void you're here. We've had 17 crew members request transfers during this transport. These cubs, they're unlike anything we've encountered." "I don't understand," Raza said, his scientist's mind racing. "Why bring them here? We're not equipped for—" "They chose you," the captain interrupted, his compound eyes reflecting genuine bewilderment. "Every single one of them. When we asked our xenopsychologists which facility could handle them, they all gave the same impossible answer. They want to be with the human on Harmony's Edge. Specifically, you." Fiza grabbed Raza's arm. "That's impossible. These species are barely sentient at this age. How could they—" She was cut off by a sound that made both humans' blood freeze. It started as a low rumble, then built into a chorus of calls, clicks, roars, and harmonics that no single species should have been able to produce. But somehow, impossibly, it sounded like— "They're calling for him," the captain whispered, his warrior's composure finally cracking. "They're calling for their parent." Over the following hours, Raza found himself in the most bizarre situation of his career. Despite every instinct screaming that he should be terrified, he watched as the deadliest juvenile predators in known space organized themselves around him with an efficiency that would have impressed Imperial military strategists. The Vorthak cubs formed defensive perimeters. The Zephyrians took high positions, their plasma breath creating warm pockets throughout the station's corridors. The umbrals simply disappeared, but Raza could feel them nearby, watching, protecting. "How is this possible?" Fiza asked, monitoring the situation from the safety of the command center, while Raza walked among creatures that could theoretically tear him apart without effort. "I've been thinking about that," Raza replied, gently patting a crystalline mantis cub whose diamond-hard carapace could cut through molecular bonds. The creature purred like an earth cat. Human evolution produced something unique in the galaxy. Pack, bonding behavior that extends beyond our own species. We're the only race that looks at dangerous predators and thinks pet material. A void stalker cub, its tentacles wrapping around Raza's leg in what could have been either an attack or affection, gazed up at him with eyes like miniature black holes. Somehow Raza knew it was the latter. "But these aren't domesticated animals," Fiza protested. "These are apex predators from worlds where survival means constant warfare." "Exactly," Raza said, the pieces finally clicking together. "And what do predators need most when they're young? Protection, guidance, and a pack structure. Humans have been taking in dangerous young creatures and turning them into loyal companions for millennia. These cubs can sense that instinct in us, the willingness to care for something not because it's safe, but because it needs care. The Imperial captain, who had been observing from a safe distance, approached cautiously. "Dr. Raza, I must ask, what are your intentions? The Empire cannot simply abandon these specimens, but after what we've witnessed..." Raza looked around at the 500 pairs of trusting eyes watching him, creatures that could grow up to challenge entire fleets, now seeking nothing more than acceptance and guidance. He thought of humanity's long history of taking in strays, of looking at the universe's most dangerous creatures and seeing potential rather than threat. "We'll make it work," he said simply. "Humanity always does." Fiza's laughter echoed through the comm system. "Leave it to humans to accidentally become the galaxy's most successful adoption agency for weapons of mass destruction." As if in response, the 500 cubs began their chorus again. Not a call for help this time, but something that sounded suspiciously like contentment. For the first time in galactic history, the Empire's deadliest creatures had found their home. And somehow, impossibly, that home was with the species that everyone else considered the galaxy's most recklessly optimistic adopters of dangerous pets.